Hey everyone, so I thought today I'd do a bit of a day in the life video of me in this weird world that we're in now, which is basically lockdown. So since my last video, Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, did like a little announcement speech thing saying that we are only allowed to go outside once a day for exercise. We can go to the shops, like the supermarket, for essential food if we need to, but otherwise no. And I think we're allowed to walk our dog. Well, I know we are. We're allowed to walk the dog once a day. So this morning I have already been out for a run. Not only did I do a run, which, you know, you can just do easily outside, but usually I go to the gym a couple of times a week and I use some of the machines and I do a few weights and stuff. So Mark kindly got a ladder out of the garage, tied it all together, and I used it as weights. It wasn't very heavy, weirdly, but I did some squats and weights with it, which probably to my neighbours looked very strange, but needs must at the moment. And then another part of my exercise was just chasing Peggy around the garden, or rather, Peggy was chasing me. She thinks that I'm like her best friend, I think, and that we play chase, and she chases me. But the thing is, that was my one piece of exercise for the day, and that was done by like 7:30. So now, the rest of the day, I'm stuck inside my house, although we do have a garden, so I can go out there. But yeah, it's kind of weird, the fact that now I'm not allowed out. So Peggy obviously needs to walk. That'll be Mark's exercise, he can walk her. But for me, that's it. And although I'm going to be stuck inside all day, just like everyone else in the country, I'm definitely one for trying to keep structure. So for me, you know, I've had a shower, I've got dressed, I've put makeup on, even though I'm in the house all day. I've just done stuff that makes me feel a bit better about myself. I want to have that structure. I want to have sort of almost like a timetable for myself. You know, if I don't do the timetable perfectly, doesn't matter, it's not going to be followed, but it just gives me some ideas. So I'm not just going to be sitting at my desk, although I do need to do some work today. I need to do some emails and everything, but I'm also going to get out in the garden because we are lucky to have the garden, so I want to do a bit of gardening. Obviously more tidying because, you know, when you are at home all the time, the house does get a little bit more messy. We need to give ourselves structure, but at the same time we need to allow ourselves to know that we can't just do work all day. That's hard, especially when you're at home with other people. We just need to be kind to ourselves and be kind to everyone else as well by staying at home. So I'm gonna go and start my day. Well, I started my day ages ago by having a run, but I'm gonna start my day by having some breakfast. And that's what I'm gonna do now. So here I am just doing some emails, a to-do list, scheduling my day out, just doing everything that I usually do on the computer. And then I decided to pack away our washing because I hate going upstairs later and finding loads of washing and I can't get into bed till I do it. And then another thing I did was, firstly there I tidied away some of my exercise gear in the corner, and then I thought I'd tidy my dressing table because it always gets such a mess with hair and makeup and stuff. And then I was properly just on a massive cleaning, tidying spree, so I just went into the living room and started tidying that, putting stuff away like the cameras and moving Peggy's bed. Did a bit of a hoover because suddenly you realise there's dust everywhere, alongside the dust on the floor, dust on all the surfaces, so I just wiped that with the lovely wild rhubarb spray that I have, which makes everything smell absolutely delightful. And then whilst I was being productive, Mark was being productive in the kitchen. He was just washing up and putting stuff away because otherwise this stuff just sits there for ages, drip drying, and it's just nicer when it's done. So we just had our lunch and I forgot to film it, but whatever. It was very boring. But I wanted to just have a bit of a relax now because I actually have a really bad headache, and even if I didn't have a bad headache, I would like to have time to relax in the day, especially when we're at home literally all day pretty much. So I am going to be doing what I want to do all the time, every day, which is play this. So I'm probably not going to play this for very long, but this is the beauty of this game. You can like pick it up and put it down again. There's no killing or anything like most games. This is me. This is my house, and I like put some flowers down and I can go around. I can't really see because I'm looking through the camera, but this is my village at the moment. I mean, it's so silly really when you think about it, but it's just really fun and relaxing. But yeah, this is Animal Crossing and I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. There are some pears on my tree. It's a good old life here. Better than planet Earth, I'd say. So just quickly before I go into the garden, I thought I'd show you some things that need to go into the garden at some point but are too small and the garden's too cold at the moment. These are my veggies. So we've got tomato plants, we've got courgettes, you can see the flowers there, more tomatoes, some salad, spinach, and then loads of stuff here as well that is just like little seeds that will hopefully come up at some point, and hopefully in the future I can show you them all in the garden, all nicely green and everything, and then even further in the future hopefully I'll be cooking with some of this food. So I randomly have just decided that I'm going to make a crumble. I'm going to make an apple and rhubarb crumble. The reason being is that my aunt popped over about a week ago now, when we could actually see other people and go to other people's houses, and she bought me some rhubarb from her garden. So I didn't want it to go to waste. I don't want anything to go to waste at the moment, so I thought I'd make a massive crumble. We can eat a bit of it tonight, we can freeze some, we can keep some in the fridge, we can just enjoy it, because I feel like at the moment we all need a bit of a treat, and a crumble is just the best, most scrummiest treat ever, especially when you have it with custard or ice cream. What do you prefer, custard or ice cream or cream or on its own? I don't know, I like everything. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that now, and yeah, I'll show you how I do it, I guess. So firstly I decided to make the crumble top, which I just use some gluten-free plain flour and some really cold butter straight from the fridge, and then you just rub that together. Gets all over your fingers, but rub it so it's almost like a breadcrumb consistency. Add a bit of cinnamon, which just makes it smell and taste amazing, and some brown sugar, which gives it a more caramelised top, and then a bit of crunch from the oats, and that is your crumble. And then I was using the rhubarb from my auntie's garden, so I chopped that up and then peeled this apple, which is very spotty, but I thought it would be fine. You know, I don't have any others, so I chopped that into pieces, and then into my saucepan I put a bit of sugar and a bit of butter, melted that down, because that's what my fruit is going to go into before it goes into the oven. So then I put my apple in there, and I also put a bit of cinnamon into that, and just let it sort of coat it and almost caramelise a little bit, which is really nice. Added the rhubarb for the last bit, and then I poured that all into my skillet and spread it all out, and then just poured my crumble on top, which is so simple. Put it in the oven for like 25 minutes, half an hour, and you've got a glorious crumble. Okay, so the crumble is ready to come out. I don't know why I'm holding the camera at the same time, but maybe you can see from afar. Oh my god, you can probably see, but my glasses have steamed up. It is very hot because it's in a skillet, and it's very heavy because it's a lot.
Careful now.
Oh, there we go. Oh my days. But this is rhubarb and apple crumble, and look at all that bubbling and yumminess, so this is going to go down very well later.
Maybe now?
No, it's too hot.
I'll have some now.
Don't touch that, it's boiling. No, do not. Okay, so I've been doing a bit more work, and now I'm just feeling a bit like, and a bit fed up even. Like usually I'll do a bit of work and then we'll go out somewhere, just somewhere really boring really when you think about it, but when you can't go out anywhere at the moment, everywhere's shut and you're not allowed out, it makes all those places that are just a bit average just seem amazing. I just really, like for instance, I really want to go to a garden centre. I kind of really want to go to the zoo as well. I just like to go for a random walk in the countryside, like far away, but you know, you do your one walk a day and that's it. I'd quite like to go to the beach as well. We don't live far from the beach. There's so many places I'd like to go now that I'm thinking about it. I just like to go to town, not even to go shopping, just to wander around and people watch. I love people watching, and that's something that you really can't do at the moment, because if you do go out for a walk or something, for that one walk, you don't really see anyone, and you certainly don't just stare at people. It just comes across a bit weird really. Everyone's a bit like avoidy of each other, but I'm never going to take stuff like that for granted ever again, because so I think I'm just going to go and explore the garden, maybe do a bit of work in the garden, as in doing a bit of weeding, something like that. So I just decided to do some weeding, as I said, and it was kind of a bit of a mess, the garden, if I must say so. You can't really see it here, but there was just loads of bits of grass everywhere and loads of old twigs and stuff that just comes with the winter. So there was quite a bit to do, and I still got quite a bit more to do. You'll see there I also was playing with Peggy, because she just kept coming over and bugging me, but I love that. That's why I have a dog, and it's great. This is the game this dog loves to play. Cupcake. Right, you ready? Ready? Oh no, I kicked it in the flower bed. My fault, I'm useless. So she likes to be on the phone. She likes a cupcake. That is definitely double like me. Like mother, like daughter. There we go. And I also can't wait for barbecue season again. Got the barbecue here, waiting to be used. I think it needs a bit of a clean, to be honest. So you will have seen earlier that I moved Peggy's bed into a nice place over by the window, but she doesn't like it. Here she is. She's pretending she's in her bed. She's just sat exactly where she would when she's in her bed, all curled up like that. And after not helping me with the weeding earlier, she's exhausted. It's a hard life. Oh, I mean, come on. That is... Oh, it's so beautiful. Aren't you?
Leave me alone.
Oh, I can't stop.
Go away. Trying to get some peace and quiet here.
So whilst Peg is sleeping, we're going to make dinner and we're going to make her throw whatever you got in the cupboard curry. So firstly, get your rice on. We do this in the microwave and it's really, really simple. We're going to make chopped tomatoes out of fresh tomatoes. So here you can see Mark cutting crosses in the tomatoes and then pouring some boiling water over them and letting them sit for about 5 minutes. And whilst they are sitting for 5 minutes, chop your courgette for the curry. So chop it into cubes and then get your tomatoes out and peel them. And the cross makes it really, really simple to peel. And then chop them up into pieces. You can do this however big or small you want to, but just make sure you don't lose any of that juice because obviously in a tin of chopped tomatoes there's lots of juice. So put it onto the hob in a pan. Don't have the lid on at first, but then put the lid on because this really helps to keep all the juices in, and at the same time you can fry off your courgette. But that's literally all you have to do to make chopped tomatoes. So just keep that lid on, take it off once you think it's the right consistency for you, and it's done. And I decided to do this just because in the UK you can't get tinned chopped tomatoes at the moment, so why not make them from fresh? So yeah, onto the curry a bit more. So now I've got some spices like turmeric, ground coriander and garam masala. Put them in, mix them up, and then added a bit of flour because that really helps to thicken it. And then just cook that until I added my chopped tomatoes. And then I added in some full fat coconut milk, mix that round, and just let that cook down till it thickened up a little bit because it takes a little bit of time with all the sort of wateriness of the coconut milk. You could use coconut cream if you didn't want to wait so long. We often do that, but we didn't have any, we just had coconut milk. And then add in your chickpeas and let them cook for a bit, add in your spinach, let that wilt down a little bit, and then if you want, add some fresh chives because chives are great. And then I got this naan bread out the freezer, I made it, there's a recipe for it so you can check that out in the description below. Just added some garlic oil, some parsley and a little bit of salt, and then just put that in the oven. And that is what we had with our delicious, throw it all together curry thing, and it was really, really nice. It was a great dinner, and I'd highly recommend you making it too. So that curry was actually delicious. That was such a nice dinner, and I'm just proper into my curries at the moment. But yeah, if you want to check out other videos of mine, then click over here and you can watch my very first video in this sort of series of weirdness that the world is going through, and click over here, click over there if you want to watch my video on how to make the most epic chocolate cake, which I have now named Stay at Home Chocolate Cake. And I will see you at some point soon. Bye!